there's a rule, there's a reason. The reason's common sense.
So you're going deeper. You think the one shoulder was also a bad choice,
Yes.
let alone the dark nail polish.
Showing the shoulder, she's done it. I know, but you're a wonderful fashion editor and a stylist, and in your world, fabulous, wonderful. But she's a new member and a controversial member. You know, she's got a family who's causing an awful lot of trouble. And therefore, I think if I was in her shoes, but I'm not, I think I would be more careful, and I'd take life a little bit slower when you're going to try and get your own way about things.
Hello and welcome back to the Become That Girl Society, where we discuss leveling up strategies so you can become the girl of your dreams. In this space, we don't just glow up, we wise up. We take the lessons hiding in plain sight and use them to strengthen our self-worth, sharpen our intuition, and protect our peace. In this series, I will be focusing on Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, the incredible journey she has navigated since entering the royal family, and the level up lessons we can take from it. I highly recommend you also watch my previous series on the signs of jealousy and envy, because I think it will give you a deeper understanding of the themes in this series. Because while Meghan's story plays out on a global stage, the themes are universal, dealing with envy, betrayal, subtle sabotage, and learning how to evolve despite it all. This is part 2 of the series. We will be analyzing the strange behavior of Kate Middleton, sister-in-law to Meghan, specifically Kate's choice of clothes. It might seem like a superficial thing at first, fashion. But in environments where women are expected to communicate through appearance, clothing is not just fabric, it's power. It's positioning. Since entering the royal family, Kate had a very typically traditional royal way of dressing. Very fitted coat dresses that were very conservative, old-fashioned, and were often very matronly. The press, before finding Meghan as their scapegoat, often described Kate's wardrobe as frumpy. They called her the Duchess of Drab. Her outfits followed the royal rulebook to a T. Conservative hemlines, very little personality. I'm going to play 2 videos illustrating what Kate's style was before and where things began to shift. You'll notice the difference is not subtle.
2011 starts the years where Kate is officially a member of the royal family, and so all of these are outfits that she wore out and about and typically at events. We're now in 2017, and as you can see, Kate has still not deviated from the coat dress, coordinated set, and or A-line dress or skinny leg pant attire. Now, I'm not saying that a woman cannot have a style change. In fact, most women do quite frequently as they age. But what I am saying is that up until 2019, Kate's royal fashion was consistent. She did not begin to change her style until Meghan became a British and American fashion icon. Part 2. So what is Kate's new fashion choice mean as it relates to like her future popularity? Starting in 2020, Kate's internet fashion searches or online searches related to her fashion began to increase. And this year, or this past year, 2022, Kate was actually named the top fashion influencer in Britain. It's no coincidence that for the past 2 years, 2020 through 2022, she's begun to model her style after Meghan's. And Meghan's style, which was so incredibly popular, suddenly became very popular on Kate. Kate has always modeled herself after the most popular royal, and at the time, at least in terms of fashion, that was Meghan.
It's a full aesthetic transformation. Meghan came into the family, and between the typical royal outfits, she also infused her sleek, modern, quiet luxury, it-girl fashion looks. Now remember, Meghan had a loyal following and lifestyle even before she stepped into the family. She was a celebrity fashion girly who attended fashion shows, red carpet events, and other events. So with the world now watching her, it's no surprise she became a global fashion icon. Add to that, Meghan's style is very easily replicable if you don't have money to spend on her designer items. She mixed timeless silhouettes with a contemporary flair. Her outfits were intentional and aspirational, but also accessible. Meghan had her own identity before marrying into royalty. She wasn't being styled, she was the style. Somewhere along the line, people started to notice that there was a change in Kate's style of dressing, and that many of her outfits mirrored Meghan's. At first, it was subtle, color palettes, accessories, tailoring. Fans who follow Meghan spotted it first, but I think where people outside of the Sussex Squad fandom really noticed was when Kate appeared at Eurovision wearing a blue one-shoulder dress. That was similar to Meghan's dress that she wore at the NAACP Awards. Same silhouette, same color, same sleek hair pulled to the side. For two women who supposedly have no relationship, the resemblance was just too calculated to ignore. At some point, it's no longer a coincidence, it's a pattern. I know it is often said that imitation is the biggest form of flattery, but whoever coined that term was lying. Because when the imitation is coming from someone who clearly doesn't like you, it's not flattery, it's fixation. This is actually what is referred to as mirroring. It can be a sign that someone is obsessed with you, trying to intimidate you, erase you, or destiny swap, and we're going to dive into all of these. Now, I'm not saying that if a friend or someone you know goes and buys a similar clothing item or gets their nails done in a particular way that you should be worried. I don't promote being paranoid here. But when the copying is consistent and matched with other behaviors that show signs of jealousy and envy, then there's definitely a problem. Mirroring in this context isn't about shared tastes. It's psychological. It's someone attempting to become you, slowly, piece by piece, while erasing the line between admiration and appropriation. And when that mirroring is accompanied by emotional coldness, passive aggression, or even hostility, that's when it stops being cute and starts becoming creepy. Kate stayed silent while Meghan was ripped to pieces in the press after it was falsely reported that Meghan made Kate cry. It was actually Kate that made Meghan cry. She let that lie grow legs and become a monster. She rolled her eyes in front of children when asked about Harry and Meghan. She has never publicly acknowledged the mistreatment of her sister-in-law and, along with William, has had a hand to play in the constant hounding Harry and Meghan face. So let's be honest, this isn't someone who just wants to borrow a look. This is someone who has continuously allowed the media and the public to paint Meghan as a villain while standing by in silence. And yet, despite that silence, she mimics her style. So if you clearly dislike someone, why would you copy them? That's how you know someone imitating you isn't doing it out of inspiration or aspiration, that it's something more sinister. And that is where envy reveals itself for what it is, obsession. In the movie Single White Female, we see a young woman named Allie advertise for a roommate after a breakup. She ends up moving in with a woman named Hetty, who at first seems sweet and supportive. But over time, Hetty begins copying everything Allie does, her hairstyle, her clothes, even the way she speaks. At first, Allie brushes it off as flattery, but the behavior escalates into full-blown identity theft, manipulation, and eventually violence. Hetty doesn't just want to be like Allie, she wants to be her. It's a chilling portrayal of how unchecked obsession can spiral into danger. When admiration turns into imitation without affection and the original is cast aside while the imitator is praised, it becomes a form of erasure. Mirroring is when a person reflects your behavior, speech, style, or even emotional energy, consciously or unconsciously. In healthy dynamics, this can be innocent and even positive. It happens naturally as a result of closeness, trust, and mutual admiration. In these contexts, mirroring is a sign of connection. I see you and I feel aligned with you. But in toxic or competitive environments, mirroring becomes a manipulative tactic. It's no longer about connection, it's about control and consumption. Envious individuals will often mirror someone they secretly admire and resent, watching your every move, not to compliment or support you, but to absorb your energy and replicate your essence. This kind of mirroring is insidious because it allows them to get close to your influence without ever giving you credit. It's energetic theft, a form of spiritual manipulation. They're trying to walk your path and wear your crown. And just think about how ridiculous it is that Kate is literally destined to wear the crown as the UK's future queen, and yet she still felt that Meghan was a threat to her. For example, in 2017, Meghan launched the Together cookbook to support the communities affected by the Grenfell fire. Meghan had her project trashed by the press and falsely linked to terrorists, which was also a racialized attack on the women of the Hub Kitchen, who were Muslim. The royal family never defended Meghan or the women of the Hub. They also never congratulated Meghan on the success of the book, which is still selling and raising money for the Royal Foundation to this day. But 5 years later, on the anniversary, Kate and William showed up to a memorial service for Grenfell, positioned themselves front and center, and there was no mention of Meghan or the work the Hub Kitchen women had done. Meghan was also torn apart for being too Hollywood. She was called attention-seeking for wearing elegant dresses, smiling on red carpets, and carrying herself like the star she was before she ever married into royalty. The UK press spun narratives that she was obsessed with fame, that she couldn't let go of her actress past, that she was somehow less than because of her previous career. Meanwhile, Kate Middleton showed up to the James Bond premiere in a golden full sequined gown and a head full of extensions. She made the tabloid front pages, not the Bond girls, and no one said a word about her forgetting her social graces and upstaging others. She and William also appeared front and center at a Tom Cruise movie premiere, smiling for the cameras, walking the red carpet, even trending on social media because Tom held Kate's hand. And it was all spun as regal glamour and modern royalty. But Meghan, she was crucified for her connection to Hollywood, even though it's literally where she built her career. The hypocrisy is glaring. And let's not forget, William is the head of BAFTA, the UK's version of the Oscars. So let's get this straight. Meghan is degraded for being an actress, but William is the literal president of the British Film Awards institution. Kate is applauded for going full red carpet glam, but Meghan was dragged for wearing a one-shoulder dress to an award show. The double standard isn't just obvious, it's insulting. They never had a problem with Meghan being an actress. They had a problem with her being successful at it. Harry even revealed in his memoir Spare that Kate and William were religious watchers of Suits. They don't actually disapprove of what Meghan is or what she does. They have often done the same, just without the same level of success. Kate had a Vogue cover in 2016, but when Meghan decided to curate a Vogue issue and empower other women, she didn't even put herself on the cover. But it was trashed by the media. They're mad she does it first. Mad she does it well. Mad she does it better and makes it look effortless. Mad she does it with power, poise, and without needing their permission. That's not about protocol. That's not about tradition. And no amount of PR rebranding or press spin can hide the fact that the rules weren't real. They were just designed to cage her. Because we're using this to learn some life lessons, let's turn our attention to you. You're not a royal, you may not have a fancy job or title, but don't underestimate how the tiniest little thing can make someone envy you. Some people will try to get you to stop being you. They'll shame your confidence, mock your style, downplay your ideas, and twist your personality into something negative. They'll call you too much, too loud, too opinionated, too different. They'll roll their eyes when you speak. Stay silent when others attack you. They'll villainize your essence, your light, your joy, your authenticity, because it makes them uncomfortable. They want you to shrink, to second-guess yourself, to edit who you are just to make them feel secure. But here's the twist. Once you start dimming your light, they start imitating it. The very traits they mocked, they start adopting them. The way you dress? Suddenly it's their aesthetic. The language you use? They're saying the same phrases like they invented them. Your energy, your confidence, your glow. They try to replicate it without ever giving you credit. It's psychological gaslighting. First, they make you feel like you're wrong for being you, and then they become you. Because what they really hated was that you had the courage to be yourself first. What they couldn't stand was that you were unapologetic, and they weren't ready to be. So they tried to destroy your identity publicly, while quietly constructing their version of it privately. And that's the truth about envy. It's not just hateful, it's hollow. It wants what it doesn't know how to create. So it destroys, then it copies. It silences, then it steals. It shames, then it shapeshifts. So don't you dare stop being you. Because while they're busy copying the aesthetics, they'll never be able to replicate the anointing. Remember this, when someone tries to tear you down but still copies you, it means you were never the issue. Your power was.
Who's the royal trendsetter here? Just a small snippet, but I'll share the dates in a moment. This princess does not gatekeep her fashion contacts, and people want to know when she wears something, it sells out. And I love the fact that she still wears J. Crew and Banana Republic. Those who have followed her since Suits and the Tag, you'll remember that she had a collaboration with Reitman's clothing store in Canada. And this was her style before she met Harry. And this was her style when she was a full-time working royal in the UK, and she did a collaboration with SmartWorks, a charity that provides professional clothing for women who are returning to the workforce. And of course, this is her style now that she's back in the US. And I love her style, whether she's, going about her day on her Montecito estate or shooting an episode of her worldwide top 10 Netflix show with Love Meghan, or going to special events. Oh yeah, the dates of a couple of events. These were both taken in 2022, February and December, September 2022, and the following May. The trendsetter here is Meghan, Sussex.
Thanks for watching this episode of Become That Girl Society. If this resonated with you, drop a comment below, share it with your bestie, and don't forget to subscribe for part 3 of the series. And as always, keep shining, even when they try to steal your light.